What's good, peeps? Hopefully everyone is doing well, considering. I got a question. It's actually for the next Q&A, but I thought I'd answer it now just because I'm doing nothing. It's from a... Sorry, I actually had it up and now I don't have it up anymore. I just want to get the guy's name just to shout him out. It's from... Okay, so it's from Michael Francis. Again, it's actually for the next Q&A. The next Q&A is at the end of the month, so he's clearly jumping the gun by a bit here. I will put a video out for the next Q&A, so make sure you get your questions in, guys. That video will probably go out, again, towards the end of the month, because I do the Q&As at the end of each month. Michael Francis says, hey, Ade, thank you so much for doing these videos during isolation. Look forward to them. Thank you. Question is, do you think Andy Ruiz Jr. will become a world champion again? Do you think Andy Ruiz Jr. will once again be a world champion? Don't know. It's hard to tell, right? It's hard to say. You don't know where the belts are going to go. Will some belts become vacant? Will he then fight someone for a vacant belt, which obviously gives him a better chance of becoming a world champion? I don't know. I don't think he will. If I'm honest with you, that's my answer. My answer is no. I don't think Andy Ruiz will become a world champion again for a few reasons. I think the biggest reasons are the surprise element is gone, which is quite a big one, believe it or not. And I don't think he's committed enough. And that's difficult to say, really, isn't it? But again, from the outside looking in, I mean, I don't know him personally. I don't know anyone attached to him. But from the outside looking in, it doesn't look like he's committed enough, which is a bit of a harsh thing to say, is it? No, it's not. I think he's admitted that himself, right? So it's not harsh at all. Yeah, all right, so surprise element. There was a massive surprise element with Andy Ruiz Jr. Not that big a surprise. I mean, it's not like he came out of nowhere like an Otto Volin or anything, right? That was a surprise. If you know your boxing, you would have known Andy Ruiz Jr. But I say surprise element in the sense that I don't think anyone in the top 5 or 6 was going home at night and watching tapes on Andy Ruiz Jr. I just don't think they were, right? Why would you? So I think that surprise element as to how fast his hands were and even his feet, considering the size of him, I think that's gone now, right? You prepare for that now, like what Anthony Joshua did in the rematch. So anyone now fighting Andy Ruiz isn't going to look at him and think, this guy, 5'11", 280 pounds, isn't going to have fast hands and fast feet. I think they know that's coming now. So that's a big factor. So I don't think he's able to shock people like he did in the first AJ fight. So I think that's gone. I don't know how big that is, but I think you can add it to it, right? So if it was like a pie chart of 100%, I think that's like 20% of the reason. I think the biggest sort of thing on that pie chart would be commitment. He's just not committed. I mean, I was at that press conference or post-fight press conference when he lost to AJ, and where he said he was partying and didn't take training serious. I mean, the biggest fight of your life, the biggest moment, the biggest night of your life or your boxing career, right? I'm guessing the biggest moments were having kids and stuff, but the biggest moment of your boxing career, you've admitted to the world that you just weren't training and that you were partying. I mean, there's no excuse for that, right? There's no excuse for it at all. I'm trying to think of one for him. I can't think of one. He came into that fight. What was his weight again? Was it like 293 pounds or something? You're not committed. If you can't commit to a full, proper training camp where you're defending your titles and earning millions of pounds, then I don't think you are going to commit to anything. I don't think you can commit to anything. And that's going to be his biggest problem. We all know now, if you didn't know before, that he is super talented, right? No one's going to take that away from him. I mean, even at 293 pounds, by the way, his hands were still fast and his feet were still fast at 293 pounds, which is why it upsets me that he can't take it serious and get down to like 250, 240. I know that might sound crazy, 293 to 250. We saw Tyson Fury do it. He can do it. He can even come lower, right? He's not as big as Tyson Fury. He can come lower. I'm not saying be body beautiful. I'm not saying that. I'm not going to say have a six pack. And some people are just not built like that. But be committed and get your weight down to where it is your optimum in terms of performance, right? There must be a strength and conditioner out there, or strength and conditioning trainer out there that has said, Andy Ruiz, you at 293 are doing this. You at 240 could be this. And I just don't know how serious he is, right? Because he could be down to 240. And I think at 240 pounds, he would be, boy, he'd be frightening. Because we know he can take a punch. He can take a punch. He's got fast hands. He's got a brilliant boxing IQ. Got fast feet as well. Can close the distance. Yeah, so I think commitment for him is going to be a serious problem going forward. Didn't Teddy Atlas even say something like training Ruiz Jr. would be almost akin to like training a crack addict, in the sense that he's got an addiction to food. Because you'd have to look at him like a crack addict and try and wean him off it. That's a tough job, right? That's a bloody tough job. You know, the thing is as well, maybe he just doesn't want it as much as we would like to think he does want it, right? Not everyone, and this just isn't in boxing, but just in life, not everyone wants to put the work in required to stay at the top. Not everyone, right? I mean, you can have the same amount of talent. You can have exactly the same amount of talent, but someone, like take the workforce, for example, someone is willing to do 80 hours a week to be the managing director or chairman of a company. They're willing to put that effort in, and they are sort of guaranteeing themselves, I don't know, $500,000 a year. Just a silly example, but bear with me. There's someone looking at that thinking, I'm just not willing to do 80 hours. Fuck it. I'm happy doing a 40-hour week and earning 200. That's just how it is in any walk of life. So maybe Andy Ruiz is content saying, I know if I get myself down to 230 pounds and stay there and commit to my diet and commit to everything, commit to my exercise, commit, I know I can be up there with those guys. But maybe there's a part of him saying, you know what? Nah, I'm happy being 260 and still being pretty good. I'm happy being 270 and still being pretty good. And I think that's where Andy Ruiz is. I think that's just how he is, right? Again, I mean, I guess it's easy for us to be on the outside looking in and point fingers at him saying, oh, you should do that. We all are like that. We're all like that to an extent in whatever we do, right? There'll be some things that we just don't do 100% committed. And Andy Ruiz right now is probably sitting there thinking, nah, this can't be asked. Can't be asked. I've got millions in the bank, as he has right now, and I can't be asked to kill myself to make 230 pounds and be the best Andy Ruiz possible. And I guess that's the issue for heavyweights, right? They don't have to make weight, right? There is an ideal weight for all of them, right? But they don't have to tick it. Whereas obviously any other weight class, you have to make the weight. And I guess by making the weight, in a sense, you're putting your body at the fittest stage it can be at. Even though I think some of them go too extreme to the point where I think they're doing it as a deficit to their body or damage to their body, but still they know they're super fit, whereas heavyweights just like whatever, right? Whatever. He will get committed. What is Andy Ruiz? Andy Ruiz is 30 now, so he will get committed. And that commitment, I think, will come when the money starts to dwindle, and it will run out, right? I mean, there's been fighters that have earned hundreds of millions who then go into bankruptcy, so that money will run out. I just hope that he gets committed before it runs out, because it might be too late, right? In terms of his athletic ability, and I'm thinking of his age. Right now, he's at a prime. He's at his prime. He's 30, but commitment's going to be his biggest problem. Hopefully, dude, Michael, that's not a lot. I'm looking like, because these emails there. Hopefully, dude, that's not a long-winded answer. But my answer is no. Again, just because of the surprise element, which is a small factor. Again, 20% on that pie chart. But the biggest factor is commitment. That guy, I mean, we've seen it throughout his career now. That guy will not lose the weight and will not stop eating in order to be the best Andy Ruiz possible. And that's a shame, isn't it? Because you almost, I just want to see what the best Andy Ruiz is. I just want to see it. And I don't think we will see it because he won't allow us to see it because he's not committed. Peace. Guys, sorry, it's me again. I'm back. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Also, please like and share the videos. It really does help the channel a lot. And if you want to support the channel, I do have a Patreon account. The link is in the description. All right, I'm done. Peace.